Hi everybody, this is Ian from Infinite Recording Studios. I'm here today to share with you 5 tips I wish I knew as a beginner in Ableton Live. If you like this video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you very much. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so first thing I wish I knew as a beginner producer in Ableton is learning how to group tracks. This is really important because this allows you to not use as much CPU as you would normally have 2 separate tracks. So you'll be able to also add things to the group like Decapitator or the Devil Lock. Next thing I want to talk about is having a return track. Return tracks are important because it allows you to have a dry channel and you basically be able to mix the wetness of how much you want it. And here I'm showing you the left is the first one, the right is the second one, and so on. If you made a third track, it would be the third one. If you made a fourth one, it would be the fourth one. And here I'm adding the Devil Lock as part of the drums on Ascend so that the drums have more of a crunch to it and also makes it a little more louder. Tip number 3, keyboard shortcut. This is important because by default, Ableton doesn't have things like the R button being record, which I think is important. Like if you want a nice workflow and you don't want to get out of state while you're making a beat. So what you do is go up to the key button on the top right, you'd click onto it, click on whatever area you want to become a shortcut. You double click on it and then click the key on your keypad for whatever letter or maybe a number if you want. The next feature I wanted to talk about would be the capture feature in Ableton. This is really important. I wish I knew this when I started off because sometimes you'll be working on a beat, messing around on the keyboard, and someone like me who doesn't know music theory, kind of just expresses whatever you can on the piano and kind of finds something out of the chaos I decide to be creative with or whatnot. I think having the capture feature is very beneficial and convenient because you can play something and then be like, you know what, the third melody I was messing around with I think was really cool, but then you kind of forget it, and all you have to do is click the third square on the top. After you click that button, it should make a new track, a new clip of whatever you were just playing. It can go for 30 minutes, but yeah, this is just a really important shortcut. And the last thing I wanted to talk to you guys about was having a default MIDI track. The default MIDI track I think is important because if you're using the same things over and over again every time you open up Ableton Live, this would just make your workflow faster, having all the things already preset. Every time you open up a new MIDI track, okay, you want an EQ, you want a reverb, you can go crazy, put Devil Lock, micro shift, whatever, or any of the audio effects that Ableton has stock. You can put an echo or reverb if that's like something you're constantly using every time you open up a MIDI track. I think this is very important, and what you do is open up the MIDI track, add all the things you want on it, then right click on the MIDI track and then scroll to the bottom. It's the last option and it says save as default MIDI track. You click on that, and then once you're done clicking that, every time you open up a new MIDI track, it's gonna have your template art. Basically it's gonna have a preset. But yeah, this is Ian from Infinite Recording Studios. Here to share with you guys a few tips for Ableton Live beginners, and hope to talk to you again. Goodbye now.